G'day and welcome to a new video. Today is a bloody exciting day. It's time to start this front lawn renovation. When I was first getting into lawn care, I was like, oh, these renovation things, like, I wonder if you actually have to do them every year, well, blah, blah, blah. But I promise you, once you get into it, this time of year, extremely, extremely exciting. Let's get into it. So it's late September here, which generally in Victoria would be considered a little bit early to do a lawn renovation, but our temperatures recently have been fantastic. No doubt we've still got a few cool days left in us, but overall it's been awesome. I've been planning this renovation for this time for a long time because of our schedule coming up throughout October as a family and going on holiday and wanting to get recovered before then. All these little bits and pieces that are important to consider, as well as making sure that your lawn is actively growing. In terms of the preparation, I've sprayed herbicides out here to kill out my weeds and to kill out the ryegrass that I seeded last March. Something else in terms of preparation that's really, really important is knowing the size of your area. So I already know out here, and I've measured it when we first moved into the house, that I've got 180 square meters out here on this lawn. So that helps when I'm applying products and doing other things to make sure I'm putting out the right amount. And yeah, in the lead up to this renovation, I've planned my timing, I've booked in my machines, anything else that I need to get organized, I'm all ready to go. And so to start off with today, I'm going to be scalping this Kikuyu pretty low. This is my trusty mass bought rotary mower, which goes down to 7mm, so it goes quite low for a standard rotary mower. I've also got a Ryobi scarify that I'll be using, and I've got a Ryobi mower that I'll be using. I'm scalping with this mower though. A lot of battery mowers and just some rotary mowers in general, they don't scalp really, really low. And the scalp is important to dig up some of that or get rid of some of that above ground thatch. It allows the scarifier to get in deeper, it allows the core aerate to get in deeper, and then when we top dress, it also shows us where our low spots are to be able to get the top dress into those areas and get a nice, flat, level, nice lawn. And that is, at the end of the day, what this lawn renovation is all about. It's about having a healthier, nicer, flatter, more enjoyable space at the end of it all. So look, let's start this up, get stuck in. My normal cylinder mower height works out to be about a 5 on this rotary mower. So I'm gonna go down to number 2 to start off with, see how much of a slog it is. If I need to go a 3 and then a 2, I will do that instead. This lawn is a little bit thin at the moment. There's quite a few weeds through it because I didn't use a pre-emergent. I seeded in March instead of pre-emergent. And also a lot of that ryegrass was there, it was taking up space throughout winter where my Kikuyu wasn't spreading and filling in by itself. So, you know, that's something to be considered, is that this kike has got a bit of room to spread into, which is fine. So I'm just gonna gauge it. I'll start on a 2, maybe I'll start on a 3. And I'll see how I go from there. See how it looks. And that 3 is about 14mm. But getting into the low spots, that 14mm, some spots, this is still gonna hit dirt. So I've done a number 2 pretty much everywhere out here. And then now I'm just on this nature strip because it is quite level in a lot of spots. I'm just dropping it to a number 1 before I scarify. There's a couple of spots where you can really see, and this is the giveaway sign. So this spot that's scalped really hard here is obviously a bit of a high spot. And then around it, the spots that are a little bit more green, you can tell just a little bit more, or a little bit lower. So that's a good way to tell where your low spots are. This front lawn as a whole is quite level. And yeah, what I talked about it with it being a little bit thin earlier, I don't need to absolutely annihilate this, and I'm still got to scarify, so finish this. So definitely not the heaviest scalp you've ever seen there, but yeah, still nice amount of little bits of green and just little undulations making that green still pop through. And I'm not fussed about that at all. I think sometimes we over glorify scalping to dirt. I've got bits of dirt here because this section of lawn here is definitely the most uneven out of all of these. on what is a fairly level lawn. I think leaving a little bit of extra meat on the bone as well means that it's going to recover a little bit quicker, so it's a fine balance of scalping nice and low to let this in deeper, let the core aerator in deeper, see where your low spots are, but also gets to a point where maybe you're just going a bit silly and going too hard when you don't need to. So now I'm ripping in with this Scarify. There's going to be probably more detail about this on Instagram, working with Ryobi, but excited to see how this 36 volt work. I've got no obligation to talk about this on YouTube, so anyway, we'll rip in with it. We'll see how it goes. This is going to be digging these blades right down into that thatch layer. So I've gone across it with the rotary, now I'm digging right into it with the Scarifier. Something that a lot of people say about these Scarifiers is that they are better to use with the catcher off and then pick it up with your mower afterwards. So I'm going to put that to the test here with these two sections either side of the mailbox. This section that I'm using the catcher on here first is slightly bigger, but let's see how it goes leaving this catcher on anyway. Based on that little test, this lawn was quicker, didn't take as long, but that lawn is slightly bigger. So based on that small sample size, I think definitely using the Scarifier and then picking it up is what I would go with performance-wise as much as anything. I feel like the performance of the machine was a lot better when I used it just by itself without the catcher. The catcher can get really full and tilt the machine back because it's quite light. So yeah, no catcher for me. There we go. Whole thing scarified once and scalped down. I'm going to run across it now with my petrol rotary mower just because it can get a bit lower, clean things up a little bit. Core aerate and top dress tomorrow. Is what we deserve. All right, day two, we roll on. Been out to Kennards, picked up the core aerator. Gonna be ripping some cores out of this lawn. There's massive, massive benefits to core aeration. It's something that often gets skipped because of the effort and potentially the cost of picking up the aerator and that sort of thing. But even if it's something that you say, all right, every second year I'm gonna core aerate, it's really, really important for the process and it's fantastic for the health of the soil. I'm gonna rip into it. I'll talk a little bit more about it once I'm done. Well, there is that job done. Pulled out some really nice cores. It's taken me 45 minutes to do this entire lawn, which is 180 square meters of awkward corners, annoying turns, and all that sort of thing. So I honestly reckon it would take about the same amount of time to do my entire 500 square meter back lawn because it's just nice, long, straight runs. So anyway, use the machine on a really low revs as well. Really important, it was barely on pretty much, so get nice and slow, especially you don't want to be smashing the tines into your brick edging or anything like that and damaging the machine. So yeah, look, now when I top dress later on today, I've got some really nice cores in here to fill in and help to improve the drainage throughout this lawn, which is, yeah, also with these cores allowing lots of air into there. Water can penetrate deeper through these core holes, and yeah, filling them with sand as well is just adding to that drainage. This spot where I am right now, I think the tripod was actually over there. You wouldn't have seen it, but I actually went back and forth over it a few times because this is an area where it rains and then water all collects down here. So it's a very soggy spot. So yeah, few extra cores in this particular spot. I'm going to sneak out the backyard and I'm going to do some spots out there too, which I'm going to record a little video about as a bit of a bonus YouTube one. But so check that one out if you're enjoying this. But yeah, I've got to head off to a mate's place and help him with the concrete pour for a couple of hours now. When I get back, these cores will be dry. So I'm going to come across with my rotary mower and pick them up. It is really nice soil that I've got here. Really rich, nice soil. So sand is absolutely perfect. Boy, oh boy, what a day. Got those cores picked up with my mower in the end, set them to a number 3 after scalping most at number 2. So make sure you set your mower nice and low to pick up those cores. My sand has been delivered while I was tidying up from picking up those cores. What I've got here is 2.5 cubes of nice, fine, triple washed sand. So this is some really nice stuff here from Daisy's Garden Supplies. If you're in Victoria, going to provide really nice drainage. This stuff, it's really good quality, fine, no chunks in it. It's something with your top dressing. If you've got awful soil, sandy soil in WA, really infertile soil, you want to top dress with a composted soil. If your main focus, like mine is on leveling and drainage, you want to use sand because it's not going to sink and break down over time. Organics in soil, like compost type material, they will break down. And you also, if you're cylinder mowing, you're gonna get chips and, you know, little bits of bark and stuff in those kinds of blends generally. So it's not ideal, but look, I'm gonna start slapping this out on the lawn, running out of time, running out of daylight. So let's get it done. Now the sand is all spread. I've let it dry out a little bit. That's something that's really important, to make sure that you let the sand get dry, because if you try to level it straight away when it's wet, it's just heavier and harder to move around. So you want to make sure that happens. This was one of my first tools that I bought getting into lawn care. It's the 1 meter wide lawn level rake from Lawn Tips. Paid full price for that however long ago, can't remember. Big day. I'm hopefully going to get this all leveled and apply some products right now, which I should get done. So yeah, these core holes are just going to gobble up the sand. It looks like a heavy top dress at the moment, but you'll be really surprised by the time it's all rubbed in how it actually looks. Spot there that needs some sand. So in the end there, that top dress probably a little bit thicker than anticipated, expected. Definitely, this is my bumpiest part of this front lawn, so no doubt was conscious of getting a little bit extra on here, but keep smashing out the rest, get it done, and hopefully get my products down today. Got it all nicely leveled out. I have just applied my Acelepryn for grub control, 6 months worth of prevention of lawn grubs, which is fantastic. Now I've got the Lawn Tips Proliferate granular fertilizer. Two kilos per 100 square meters, so 3.6 kilos in there. Just to touch on this quickly, sometimes I generally like to apply my products before top dressing, and there's reasons for that, and I'm going to talk about that a bit on Instagram. But yeah, today I didn't know if I was going to get my top dressing done. Kids are just home now, But yeah, I'm going to go around, and with these smaller areas, I can stay off the lawn and I can just spread from the outside. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, so I'll get that in, I'll water it in, make sure I give it a nice soak, and then starting tomorrow morning, I think I'll have a manual watering system, which I'll show in next video. But yeah, I'll be out here probably watering it first thing in the morning, and then again about lunchtime. If we get some warmer days up around 30, then I'll get a third water in, but it is just a bit harder with those manual watering systems. So anyway, I'll get that down, get it watered, and look forward to the recovery. Tell you what, this stuff, it seems like a lot of work, but once you get into it, it's bloody good fun. Thanks for watching.